Hey guys, Joe Drake here with the Axiom Fitness Academy, and wanted to shoot you guys a video about a common question that I get from those coming into our personal training courses, as well as those just interested in the fitness industry in general. When I go and talk to students at FAU who are exercise science majors, how much money am I going to make? So I think you find the standard that people go into other careers understanding and knowing this is how much money I can make as a physical therapist. So how much money can I make if I really dedicate myself to personal training? So, and I know going through, being someone who came through the education environment, undergraduate, master's degree in exercise physiology, it's not something that most people are getting pushed into. It's seen as a part-time job. So, what's out there? Everyone's telling me that it's not what I should put my energy into, that there's no money, it's a dead end, I'm going to get out of it. And I can tell you there's massive potential, but a lot of it has to do with the path that you follow and how you go about sticking with and continuing on with personal training. So, and there's a couple different paths. Before we go down that rabbit hole, I want you guys to go ahead and click on the link below to the Axiom Fitness Academy, and you guys should subscribe to the newsletter where we're constantly and continually going to be putting out information on these questions exactly. How do I find success and create longevity in my career as a fitness pro and as a personal trainer so I can continue to help more and more people and obviously make great money along the way doing it too. So subscribe to that. We'll continue to put things out. But getting into personal training income, so if you were to look at U.S. labor statistics, a number of different organizations put out different numbers, and you're going to find anywhere that the average is maybe between $30,000 to $45,000 a year. So the thing is that a lot of those numbers are skewed by the individuals who are not considered full-time. And it's hard to track those by the way in which they actually report their labor statistics. Many individuals who are part-time trainers, many individuals who kind of train a few clients here, maybe they have another job. And I can definitely say that if you want to get to the earning potential, which the potential might be something, $50,000 to $100,000, which is realistic. And that's not unrealistic. It's not that that's going to happen right away, but there are some things that you can do to ensure that you keep working towards that bracket, and then eventually, obviously, hopefully higher up and maybe even beyond those numbers. But it's not going to happen right away. Right, so maybe within 1 to 3 years, if you do the right things, you can get to those numbers. And that's because people who only get 1 foot in, if you jump in, jump out, or maybe you don't fully commit, you'll never get to that 50,000 mark. It's not going to happen. And you have to stay with the fact that in your first 1 year, 2 year, maybe into 3 years, you still might not make that kind of money. But if it's worth it in the long term, the opportunity and the potential is definitely there. So think about this. Your guys' certification is purely entry into the field. Think of it as like a driver's license. So we live in South Florida, I live in South Florida, there's plenty of bad drivers out there. They pass their driver's license, doesn't mean they're amazing, right? So there's plenty of personal trainers, doesn't mean they're going to be successful, guarantees you no money. What it guarantees you is that you've got some basic information and education so that you're going to keep clients safe. Hopefully you've learned and developed a system that is going to give clients results. And you have this organization to back you up. The second thing that it's going to do is it's going to give you an opportunity to get work. So obviously your major gyms, your big box gyms, even your private gyms like Gravity and Oxygen that I'm co-owner of, you're going to need some sort of certification. Generally one of the top number of 9, 10 accredited organizations, NASM, NSCA, ACSM, ACE, these ones that you might have heard of. So again, just gives you entry into, all right? So it doesn't mean you're going to guarantee money by any means. And then from there, it's figuring out that path that you go. Now, success tends to leave clues, and I would say that most of the successful personal trainers that I've come across, that I know that are in my circle of influence, started in big box gyms and built their way from there. And I think that's maybe your best answer or possibility for success because you have the most captive audience. Not only that, but you have the opportunity to learn a lot on someone else's dime. I had the opportunity to do that when I worked for Campus Recreation, not necessarily in the corporate fitness environment, but I got to do a lot of things, learn a lot, focus on training, make mistakes without having to buy my own equipment, without having to pay my own rent, without having to worry about my own facility and my own liability, all those things that come along with going out on your own that maybe one day down the road are going to get you to that bigger picture number. But great place to start. So, I think getting your feet wet, getting into that, you might only be taking away 30-40% of your client sessions based on the gym that you work at, but that's part of it. You got to put your time in, and you got to see the bigger picture. That if you do that, and you definitely, if you stand out, which is, again, if you continue to follow, subscribe to the newsletters that we put out, and giving you guys ways to stand out in those environments, which you will, you're going to have no problem building a following. And let's say 2, 3, 4 years down the road, you have the opportunity to go out and do something on your own and make the kind of money that you're really going to enjoy doing what you do long term and is going to sustain you, right? So there's opportunity there. Now there are some exceptions to that. Let's say a facility like ours, or maybe you find a great mentor, you can be successful getting into the private industry right away. But I would say there are fewer people doing that and leading to that bigger picture success down the road than those who are going the other route. And it's purely just access to people. You know, again, the exceptions might be some place that has a large group membership where you still have access to, you know, a large population and you don't just have to bring in your own clients. But let's think about that. Maybe they've got 300-400 individuals versus 10,000 or 5,000 that a Lifetime Fitness might have. So for you, it's you guys just weighing the options, which environment you're going to be the most successful in to get clients and continue to do those things, right? So once you guys have made that selection, going down the road, finding a way to, you know, continue to grow and get more clients. So you're not going to get to that number right away, but if you guys do stay with it, these types of numbers, I know plenty of trainers who are making that kind of money, even those who don't own their own facility, just the money that they're getting in from personal training. So maybe you take that step and you go in as an independent contractor in a facility where you pay rent and you're able to do you know, your own business. But that experience in that first couple of years is going to get you there to have that kind of opportunity in the first place. So not going to happen right away. You guys got to stay with it. So if you guys are interested in things beyond that, you know, as far as personal training, what's possible, how do I continue to grow beyond that initial, you know, transition of my year 1, year 2, year 3, building up these clientele, continue to follow the videos that we put out here on Facebook. We'll have a YouTube channel up here pretty soon as well, so you guys subscribe and follow those videos. And also keep a lookout for an ebook that we'll be putting out through the Axiom Academy in 4 key ways to dominate your guys' career in personal training. So Axiom Fitness Academy, all about being dedicated to helping passionate fitness professionals find their way and stay in the industry long term. All right, so you guys have questions, comments, leave them below on the video. Let us know what you're looking for and we'll keep putting it out.